All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's edition of Voice of Mamprugu. One people, one voice. Authentic, authoritative, objective, and of course, educative. Our mission is to promote Mamprugu Kingdom across the world and unity with purpose among Mamprusis and the paramount sees in Mamprugu, as well as defend and protect the sanctity of the high office of the Nayiri. Our vision, as you all know, is to bring about consciousness among Mamprusis towards attaining social, economic, educational, and political advancement. I am your host, Na Atabia II, Mamprugu Youth President. Tonight, we shall discuss the relationship between the Mamprusis and the Nabdams. And our special guest, as you all know, is Professor Buddy Gamsira. Our brother would be joining me anytime soon. It is always a pleasure connecting with you. We've been off for a couple of days. And hello, Prof.
Yeah, hello.
Anula.
Nah.
I love ya. Yini yaula.
La fête de mettre zugusungu.
Nah.
Ibang zugusun shi aman putuwa.
Ato, say yel manja zusung ma.
Yeah, tranya zugusungu danda. The eldest Sheva Banda ba unlawfully la. Case ma bara dismiss and so tuna pusila zugusungu.
To.
La zugusungu mana tundumana yire zugusungu nyaka katia ne now pa mu zugusungu.
Ame. Ka code ma bara yel ni wula.
But I dismiss that case, ma. So I mean, so even though we don't have my, but you know, when they dismiss a case, it means that probably it lacked merit, and that goes to affirm our already held view that the arrest was unnecessary and the elder did not break any law. So I think that
ka Supreme Court ruling ma court ma bapu zang Supreme bapu use Supreme Court rule ma convict ba.
Maybe jirin nam sala yamani. Ana kaputon ame yamani shila. But buna evo pusa bana evo pusa tarambo bora.
Yelmani babu pusi na yirne na nama.
Yes, ya pusi ne ya iku pusa anongola kansa na chumanya wakia na tarambu bohra.
To tarambu bohra.
Nah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Our professor is in, brother Buddy Gamsira Inusa Abdul Majid. And tonight, as indicated earlier on, we shall be discussing the relationship between the Mamprusis and the Nabdams. Previously, we've talked about the Talansi traditional area and the Bongo traditional area. Tonight, we shall be looking at two traditional areas, all combined under the Nabdam traditional area, if I may put it so. But before then, let's look at this. History is sweet. History is a weapon. Prof.
Yes.
Is it true?
Very true. Very true. As said by the legendary reggae musician Bob Marley. You know, he said, if you know your history, then you will know where you are coming from. So history is sweet and it's a weapon because history fights deceptions, misconceptions, propaganda, mischief, history will just render all those things useless. So history is a weapon, and it conquers than any other weapon. Because history stands for truth. And the best of all weapons is truth. When truth is your weapon, then you will never lose any battle.
So we should continue using it.
Yes.
All right. We shall use history as a weapon today to look at the relationship between the Mamprus and the Nabdams. Let's look at this also. The Mampruli, this is the Mampruli dictionary. But of course, as you all know, our campaign is for Mampruli autography. Ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 I shall keep on reminding you, we need funds. We need funds to get this project done. Our brothers and sisters across the world, in Germany, in UK, in US, in Saudi Arabia, wherever you find yourself, in Ghana, wherever you find yourself, please, Mampurugu needs you. Let's make ourselves proud. Just donate to this fund. Those of you in Ghana who want to donate through mobile money, the steps are very simple. Just 6 steps, and you chip in your middles night. 2 Ghana cedis, 3 Ghana cedis, 10 Ghana cedis, 10,000 Ghana cedis. Nothing is little and nothing is much. These are the steps. First, just press *170#. Then you select 1. It will tell you transfer money. Then the next page is 6. You select the number 6, that is bank accounts. Then it will take you to another page. You select 1, wallet to bank accounts. Then the 5th page, you select 3. The bank is GCB. Then the 6th page, you select 6. It will ask you to enter your bank account number, and the bank account number is 9061010041645. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't received any receipts from anybody. That is why I have not yet published the names of contributors. So far, only 4 people. And Mampurugu, wake up, wake up, wake up. All right, Professor.
Yeah, so a quick one. Let me touch on the Autography Development Fund. Yeah,
all right.
So I think I'll just make an unofficial announcement. Though when you hold Dr. Fattah, he will give the official announcement. 3 days ago, we had a meeting with the Northeast Regional Minister and some stakeholders on it, and we are working towards it. And we've given ourselves a target that is, as you know, we said earlier, the consultant said last year as of May that if we have at least 10,000 cities, they can kickstart. But you know, things have changed. So we have revised it ourselves to, let's say, minimum of 20,000 to start with. So we gave ourselves a timeline from now to the 15th of next month. We should be able to raise 20,000 Ghana cedis or something closer to that, if not more than that, so that we can invite the language consultants to come and hit the ground running in the data collection. So that is the progress made so far. So we had a successful meeting with the Honorable Northeast Regional Minister, Honorable Yedana Zakaria, 3 days ago at his office in Alewo, and it was a fruitful one. So we encourage people to still do the donation.
Thank you so much. God willing, I shall be hosting Brother Fattah on Monday, and probably he will tell us more about that.
A quick one. A brother that day, a brother gave out 100 cedis. He is called Abdurrahman Isufu from a village called So in overseas. That happens to be the same community our dear brother, the police officer, is coming from, Inspector Haruna. That is so. So he also gave out 100 cedis that day. So we now have a little over 1,000 cedis.
All right. We thank God for that. And may our ancestors and the Almighty God bless him and all those who have contributed. All right. Tonight, we shall be looking at the relationship between the Mamprusis and the Nabdams.
Yes.
What do you have to share with us?
Okay, thank you very much. I think I'll now begin officially, and I would like to thank our dear cherished followers and viewers for always making time and spending their data to be with us. We appreciate them so much. And I must say, it's always an honor and privilege to be on this platform, Voice of Mampugu, authoritative and premier voice of the Mampugu Kingdom. I will first of all clap at the palace of the Nayiri and clap at the palace of his sons. Mba Wurunaba, Mba Shonaba, Mba Kurunaba, Mba Wunaba, Mba Yurana, Mba Pebrana, Mba Bunkuruna, Mba Napandurana, and to the Upper East region. And I'll clap at the palace of Mba Bunaba, Mba Sakutunaba, Mba Tongrana, Mba Nangwanaba, Mba Zorunaba, Mba Bolganaba, and Mba Boku Gangrana, as well as Mba Namwalganaba and the Garana. The palace are many, so we can't mention all. So I will say good evening to our cherished viewers and followers. Yeah, so to begin with, today our topic is the relationship between the Mamprusi and the Nabdam and the Sakuti and Nangodi traditional areas. So because of that, I'll come back and give a special clapping at the palace of Mbasa Kutunaba na Sigri or Naba Sigri and the palace of Mba Nangunaba na Yelzoya Saga. I'll clap at their palaces. And to begin with, the other day we looked at the relationship between Talensi and Mamprusi, and we were able to establish that Talensis are Mamprusi. We again looked at Bongo, and today we are at the Nabdam traditional areas. The Nabdam traditional areas is made of two paramonses, the Sakuti traditional area and the Nangodi traditional area. They are all independent of each other, and they collectively form the Nabdam district of the Upper East region. They are a district on their own, the Nabdam district of the Upper East region. Formerly, they were part of the Talensi Nabdam district. So the Talensi and the Nabdam were in one district, and now they are a district on their own. Okay, so now let's come to ask ourselves, who are the Nabdams? Who is their ancestor?
Before you go, quick question. The photo is the Nayiri. The photo on the screen is the Nayiri, the 33rd Nayiri of Mamprugu, and the elder son of Nagbewa of Pusiga. Does he also enskined the Sakoti and Nangodi chiefs?
And Nangonava, yes. The Sakutunava and the Nangonava are his sons. He ensskins them in the Upper East region. And as I said, Sakuti and Nangodi, Sakuti traditional area and Nangodi traditional area, they comprises the Nabdam district of the Upper East region. So that is it. So now, if we, by the time we finish, our cherished followers will understand how or why they are enskinned by the Nayiri. You know, as we did for the Talensi traditional area, we made mention that Mamprugu, the modern day Mamprugu kingdom, the modern day Dagon kingdom, the modern day Nanu kingdom, and the modern day Moses states, all traces our roots to the legendary Nadewa. Nadewa gave birth to Tohu, he gave birth to Chitobu, to Mantambu, and to Yenantura, or Yentuari, or Yemtori. the same person. So the names will come to them one day, I believe.
Yes, yes.
So in Mampuru, we call her Yerentura. So Nadewa was the son of Pugunumbu, and Pugunumbu was the son of Twaje. And Twaje brought us to Mali, and Nadewa descended to our present location. So now, as we said the other time, chiefs or kings, as we've known them, usually don't have one wife. Neither do they have one child. So they have many wives, many children. So we made mention the other day that Bugunumbu married to the daughter of Maditundana called Sister, and that marriage produced 5 children. 2 died at infancy, leaving 3. And we made mention of Namishishele, Malaganzam, and Nyalagere. So these 3. And now with Nadewa mother was called Sumuyene, and she was also from a different clan, the Gomachi. So these people, their grandfather was the Tendana, and Nadewa grandfather was also from a different, he was also a Guma. So now, the other day we established that the modern day Talensis, as we see them, the indigenous Talensis are descendants of they are descendants of Namjishani. So the modern day Talensi, the indigenous one, they are descendants of Namjishani. And the royal Talensis, they are the descendants of Mosure, who was the son of Enayiri. So the royals are from the Nadewa stock, but the indigenous people, they are from Namjishani stock. So Namjishani and Nadewa were same father. They were Pugunumbu. The father was called Pugunumbu. And we established that the Tendanashi follows more of matrilineal lineage. And that is why the descendants of, or the children of Sisargi are more into the Tendanaship and to the wash and to the sorcery and adult, they are deep into it. And Nadewa lineage is linked with royalty. That is why the indigenous Talensi are descendants of Namishishali, and the royals are descendants of Monturi. Same way. So Nyalgiri was the son of Pugunumbu, and his descendants are the indigenous Nabdams. So the indigenous Nabdams are descendants of Nyalgiri. So, as we said the other time, you know, when we descended from Mali and came to present-day Pusigan, Nadewa brought the royalty to Pusigan. So his other brothers, his step-brothers, they went to southwest of Pusigan, and they settled in that enclave, the southwest of Pusigan. So if you look at the Nabdam area, looking at Nambodi, Sakuti to Tongo, so they were more in that enclave. And Nadewa descendants, they were at Pusigan. So that is it. So the Nabdams, the modern day Nabdams, as we know them, we have indigenous Nabdams and the royals. So the indigenous Nabdams are descendants of Nyalgiri. And the royal Nabdams, they are descendants of a Mampugu prince, son of Na Atalia, the legendary Na Atalia. So this was what happened.
Before you continue, Prof, from the chart, which you've already elaborated, it shows that the Talensis and the Nabdams, the founder of the indigenous Talensis and the Nabdams are one mother, one father.
One father, yes.
They and Nagbewa are one father, different mothers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So now a son of the legendary Na Atabia, ne Yel Belgar Banne, he migrated from Naleru back to Kusiga and finally settled around the Nangodi area. Why was he migrating? I said the other time, if you go and take the history of migration, as we always say, the toad or the frog does not run in the daytime for nothing. It's either something is chasing it or it is chasing after something. So something or there was a reason the prince or the son of Na Atabia moved from Nalerugu to Kusiga. And what was the reason? You remember, Mampugu and royalty. Succession has always been an issue because we are sons of the same father. Definitely, I will want it, and you also want. So the struggle is always with us. So this prince, he was at Nalerugu, and by then Atabe was still alive. But he saw to it that there's kind of friction among the brothers as to who will succeed their father when he passes on. You know, the father was still. So he says that no, considering how these my brothers are thinking, I'm certain in my heart that if our father passes on, there might be some kind of internal fight between us, and I will not live to witness this. I don't think this is good. Our father is still alive, and we are quarreling among ourselves as to who will succeed him when he dies. So therefore, I am leaving, and I am going back to our roots, and that is Kusiga. So he got up from Nalerugu and went back to Kusiga. Why was he going to Kusiga? He was going to get the blessings of Najawa. This was a proud prince who knew the value of Najawa. And he saw that, I will live to solve. I will not live to see quarrel about succession. I would rather go to our founder and maybe lie, if we can put it in Mampule. He's going back to lie on the laps of Najawa. So he went back to Kusiga. He stayed at Kusiga, went to Nagewa resting place, and seek for the blessing of Nagewa. And after he did that, he moved from Kusiga westwards towards the Nangodi or the Bolga area. So when he got there, he realized that some settlement, there were some people living or settling around that enclave. And as a prince, I said the other day that when you hear Tosa, it means warrior. Before we have warriors as we have them today, in those days, our hunters were our warriors. So if someone is going out, he's going out well prepared, but he knows that he can meet war at any time. So a proud Mampusi prince doesn't fear war because he knows that it can get to him at any place. So they go out well prepared. So when he came into contact with these people, he waged war on them. So he fought them.
Before you continue, don't forget where you go to. He waged war on them. But before you continue, can you give us an idea around what time was it? Was it around this 1600, 1700, 1800? Around what time?
So as we all know, now Atabia reign is being estimated as part of the late 16th century to the early 17th century. So around, if we can say maybe around 1650, coming to somewhere 1720s, thereabout. So this era is estimated around that era. Because he was the son of Na Atabia. And as we all know, a son of Na Atabia founded Boku around 1721. So the founder of Boku and that prince of that son, they were the same father. So they were all sons of Na Atabia.
Do you have an idea whether this was before Boku was founded or after Boku was founded?
Well, for that one, I don't have much idea about that.
Okay, another quick
Because,
question. Okay,
yeah,
sorry. Another
because we
quick
are
question.
sure by then Atabe was still alive.
Okay, another quick question. When he left Nalirigo
Yes.
to back to Pusga,
Yes.
was it with in consultation with the father Na Atabe, or he just woke up, packed back and baggage? And...
Definitely. Definitely. Before you leave the house to travel, according to Manku Kingdom, you definitely have to seek the blessings of your father. So he might have seek the blessings of the father before he took off.
Okay, okay, all right. So he went back to Pusga, got
Yes.
the blessings of his grandfather. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And then
Great great father.
yeah, I'm just cutting it short. No,
Yes.
we say that the Nairi is the elder son, right? So
Yes.
so the Nairi son will say the
Yeah.
grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he from Pusga he moved all the way to Nangodi area,
Area. Yes.
met the indigenous people there,
Yeah.
wage war on them, and then
When you walk on them. Yes. And conquered them. When he waged the war on them, he conquered that area. Nangodi to Sakoti to that enclave. So he conquered that area. And after conquering them, that was when those that succumbed to his rule and made friends with him. So they now got closer, and upon revelation, they got to realize that they told him that we are descendants of Nyalagere. So he said, then in that case, I am also a descendant of Najewa. Then we are brothers. And
wow.
some of them were descendants of Zerle. So remember when I was giving the rundown of the Mampu kingdom, I said the reign of Zerle was unsuccessful. So because of that, history don't always count it. By
Yes.
then, the descendants of Zerle are also in existence at present day because they didn't all die. It has never happened. They can't all die. So
Yes.
the descendants of Zerle, after the unfortunate events happened, they also got dispersed and they became like they became people without a leader. After Togo took over, so they also decided to relocate to and form acephalous groups. So they joined the descendants of Nyalgari and they were in that entry. So the Talensi people are made of the Zirli and Nyalgari. Zirli is the son of Togo. Sorry, is the son of Nadewa. And Nyalgiri is the son of Kugunumbu, Nadewa's brother. So if you come to look at it, Zirli, Nyalgiri is the uncle of Zirli. So already the same lineage. So the descendants of Zirli merged with the descendants of Nyalgiri, and they were those living in that enclave. So
Mm-hmm.
when this son of Naatabia got to them, waged war on them, conquered them, those who couldn't withstand flee the area. Those who succumbed to his rule, they became friends, and when they engaged in the discussion, they got to realize that we are descendants of Zereme. This was also said, we are descendants of Nyelebe. And he said, I am a descendant of Nadewa. Then we are brothers. It means that our fight was unfortunate. We shouldn't have fought. Let's
Yeah.
let's let's reunite. So these people said, okay, then let's find a way and reunite so that we can never fight again. So the Nangori to Sakuti area is made of mountains and it is a mountainous area, rock made of rock and all this. So they got a particular rock, they got there, set fire, and as the fire was blazing, they all come together collectively and quench the fire to mean a cessation to fighting because they are all brothers.
Wow. 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 Wow.
So
Wow.
as that happened, they embraced each other and they now dance from that mountain, if we can say, or that road, to the township at where their houses were. And this particular event turned to their festival that they mark every year. But before we come to the festival, let's come over here. What was the name of this son of Naatabia? History, as we always say, is sweet. If you don't know your history, then it's unfortunate. But if you know your history, you will know where you are coming from. Because we don't say things in vacuum. We can't just say a son of Naatabia and leave it there. Definitely, he had a name. Just like we have Bokuna Ali, a son of Naatabia. He has a name, and it was Ali. We have Mosuri, son of Nayiri. He has a name, the name was Mosuri. We have Isa, son of Naatabia, and he founded Bongo. He had a name, the name was Isa. So this son of Naatabia that founded the Nabdam, he had a name, and he was called Nuru.
You are called Nuru.
Nuru, yes.
Okay. So before you continue, Bongo, you told us, was chieftaincy in Bongo traditional area started by a Mamprusi prince from Nalerugu.
Yes, son of Naatabia.
Son of Naatabia. Talansi, also son of Naatabia.
Yes.
Then Nabdam, also son of Naatabia.
Naatabia.
Wow.
The legendary, I always add the legendary Naatabia. And I said something. I said we have to finish with the sons of this great man, and now so that we can show people who this great man was.
All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So he was called Nuru, and just to clear the air, Nuru is a Muslim name. The Muslim will say Nuruddin. But in Mamprugu, we have our own way of changing Muslim names to our local names. We say Nuru. If it is Isa, we can say Isa, and that becomes a Mamprugu donation.
Okay.
If it is Musa, we can say Ya Musa, and it becomes a Mamprugu name. But that is Musa. So when you say Nuru, that the Muslims will say, or the Islamic clerics will say Nuruddin. So he was called Nuru. And as we said for the Bongo, people should not be surprised why he was having a Muslim name, because we already established that. And for the benefit of those who are joining us only for today, we made mention the other day that Isa was the son of Naatabia, and he founded Bongo. Bokuna Ali the first was the son of Naatabia. He founded Boku. His younger brother Bokuna Ali Bla, followed by Bokuna Yakubu, son of Naatabia. All these Muslim names. We have Brema, son of Naatabia, who went and became paramount chief of the Seoul traditional area. We had Suleimana, who became the Nayiri with the skin name Na Ampisene. We had Yamusa or Musa, who was the son of Naatabia. In fact, he succeeded him with his skin name as Nigerian. So Naatabia's children were almost all of them were having Muslim names. And we said the other time that the late 16th century and the early 17th century was the time Islam got to Mamprugu and to Dagbon and to the world fraternity. And it was part of the reasons why Atabia moved from Gambaga to Nalerugu, because his elder brother he went and studied the Quran, and he was well versed in it. He became an Islamic scholar. And when it was time for him to become the Nayiri, he said, no, because of my Islam, I cannot become the Nayiri. My younger brother should take. And Atabia too. And it was part of the reasons Atabia relocated, because of the presence of his elder brother, whose descendants are now what we have at Gambaga called Yidan Yiredema. So when we get to Atabia history in perspective, we will talk about those things. So we were only telling our viewers why they were having Muslim names.
All right. Yeah. So now, to get things in perspective, we've established that the Nabdams, we're talking about two traditional area here, the Sakoti traditional area and then the Nangudi traditional area. Yes. So, but all of both Sakoti and Nangudi, is it the case that they are all Nabdams?
Yes, they are all Nabdams and they are brothers. It is someone and the younger brother.
Okay, before you go into details, when the son of Atabia left Pusga and went to Nangodi and met his brothers there, or his uncles, if I may put it that way, were they speaking the same or similar dialect? How did they understand each other?
Yes, they were all speaking similar dialect, and that is we are saying Nabdam. So now I think let's come to find out the meaning of the name Nabdam.
Okay.
Where did it come from? Before we now come to the chiefs.
Okay.
Nabdam.
So this is how I will want you just to get things to create more understanding. Okay. In dealing with the name, the meaning of the name Nabdam, I also want you to look into the language. What language do they speak? And whether it is Mampruli or similar to Mampruli or whatever. So you take us through that.
Yeah, so they speak a language called Nabit or Nabt. They call it Nabt, but it is spelled as Nabit, Nabit. That's how they say Nabit. But if you are to pronounce it, they also have that kind of short vowel, Nabit. That is how they pronounce it. That is the language they speak. But if we come to look at the name they also have, the name is also a nickname, if I may put it. Just like Mampruli is a nickname and Dagomba is a nickname. And Nanumba is also a nickname. Collectively, the original name or the generic name, if I may put it, the generic name is Dabama. But when they got there, Mampusi, wherever Mampusi is, then you will sense or you can smell royalty. And probably that is what interests some people and they want to copy. And we said the other time, the Nairi is source of, he is the embodiment of the Nam. And if you want it and just go to him, if you humble yourself, he will give some to you and also go and enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, when Nuru and his followers got there and conquered the people, the local people, and later on they got to realize they are brothers and they smoke peace pipe and became one people, set fire and quench the fire to show that the fight has died. He was a chief. He went with royalty. And that brings us to whether when he was leaving home, he was giving blessings. So he came there, he went there, and he got there as a chief. So he established the chiefdom with his followers, with other subordinates, and they were exhibiting the envious chieftaincy or royalty of Mampuru. So the lifestyle they were living, like how they were handling themselves. So now his other brothers, the Zerli and Yelgiri descendants, so they always refer to them as, for these people, they are Namdam. And the Nabdam people, they have several, some call them Nam Nam, or Nabdam, or Nabdam. So you can hear Nam, Nabdam, or Nabdam.
Okay.
So the people were referring to them as these people, they are Namdama. Namdama, meaning these people are the royal people or the royal family. So Nama, or Namdama. We have Dama and Nama. Some Mampuli, they are all allowed. You can say Nam Nama, Bangwa Nama. Some people use that, and I would say Bangwa Dama. let's say Bokudema or Bokunema. Bokudema and Bokunema. So the G sometimes can be replaced with N.
Okay.
So some will call them Nam Nam, so Nam Nam or Nam Dem. So Imam will say Nam Dem.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because when you look at the history that you just gave us, the prince that left Nalirgu to Pusga, then back to Nangodi, he is a descendant of Nagwewa, and among the children of Pugnumbu, Nagwewa started royalty. Then again, among the children of Pugnumbu, Namzeshali and Nyagli, the Tindanaship in their father Pugnumbu went with them.
Yeah.
So you realize that descendants of Nagbewa and descendants of Namjushali and Nyagli met at the Nabdam traditional area. And the descendants of Namjushali and Nyagli referred to their brothers and sisters from the Nagbewa descent as Namdema.
Namdema.
Perfect. All right.
Yes. So it was the Namdema or Nam Nam that gave rise to the name Nabdam.
Okay.
Nabdam. You know, the Nabdam, when they have to say Nab, we don't say Naba as we, I said they have short vowel, they don't say Nab. So they don't say Naba, they say Nab. Like the Nangona, who will say Nangonaba, Mba Nangonaba, they will say Nangona. So not add the A. So that's the say Nabdam.
Okay, so I think we have looked at the relationship between the Mampusis and the Nabdams and how connected the Nangodi traditional area and the Sakoti traditional area are. I would like us now in the next 15 minutes to now focus on each of these traditional areas, starting with the Sakoti traditional area.
Okay, yes. So with that, they now got their name Nabdam, as we know them today, as a nickname referring to them. And as he established that area, he was taxing the people. They were his servants, so he was taxing them. They were working on his farms. At the end of every farming season, they had to pay royalties and all manner of things. So people, I want us to get some relation here. Those that were living around, concentrated around that area, and they saw to it that they named them are now putting kind of pressure on them. Some of them started fleeing the area. So they started living to a place where there is no chief, and they will not be kind of compelled to pay royalty or work at the farm of the chief. And that is what brought them to the Boku area. So that is why you have Nabdams in Boku area. Is it a Garu or Timpani? Most of the Nabdams and Zibila. So you have all this enclave, Zibila, Boku, Garu, Timpan, that enclave. There are a lot of Nabdam people in that area.
Yes. Professor, let me interrupt. Don't go into that now, because I know we'll do justice to Boku.
I always say that when a toad or a frog is running, it's either it is after something or something is after it. So when the pressure was too much on some of them, they flee the area and go to those. So maybe for the benefit of some of them who might not know their true history, this was it. They are descendants of Nyelgiri and Zerele. So they are therefore descendants of Tohajie and Kugunumbu, and they and Nigeria are brothers.
Okay, so and then you also realize that, we need to make this clear. You also realize that those that you said from the Nabdam traditional area, those who left because of what they considered as pressure from the Namdema, that's the Tingdanes. Then
Yes,
Tindanas are those who considered who thought the Namdima were now is like putting pressure on them. So they already were not into royalty. They were into their Tindanaship. So they left and then went to other areas that you mentioned, which we'll talk about it later. But I just want to emphasize that those areas that they went to, if you look at the Tindamba, that area, and you trace their roots, if you go to the Nabdam's ethnic group. But anyways, let's leave it like that and continue, Prof.
You see how history is sweet, and you see how history stops conflicts.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
When you know your history, then there will not be conflict. You know your true identity, and that will bring you those that you think were apart from each other. It will rather bring you closer. You know that these are really my brothers. So when you have real brothers, or when you are from a home, you don't go and adapt fake brothers. So that is it. So now these people, so they now the Nabdam now splitted from the Sakuti and Nangoli traditional areas. So these two areas are brothers. So the Sakuti Naba is the eldest, and the Nango Naba is his younger brother. And they collectively form the Nabdam district. But the two paramas are independent of each other. They all get their source from the Nairi. That is their father, the king of the Mamprugu kingdom. So on our display now is our father, Ambasa Kutanara, Nara Sigri, the one. His skin name is Nasigri. And they say Asigri. So you know, the Upper East area, they always have a way of putting A to every name.
Yes.
So they say Asigri. But in Mamprugu, that is Sigri. And this his Sigri, he bought it on the day of his enskinment. He was enskinned on the 9th of May, 1998.
Okay.
He was enskinned on 9th May, 1998 by the 32nd Nairi, Nagamani Muhammadu Abdullah. So he was enskinned by Nagamani. Yeah, so in our display now is my humble self and my father, Mba Sakutinaba. We were there a few weeks back. So seated, I'm the one seated behind me is our father, Mba Sakutinaba, Na Asere, the one. And to my, should I say left? Well, how I'm seated, let me say to my right, this way. So to my right here is Mr. Eric. And Mr. Eric is the regent of the late Sakutinaba, the one that this current one succeeded for. So Mr. Eric was his regent. And seated to my left, is it? Yeah. So my left this way is
so on the screen, on the screen to your right is the secretary, and to your left is the regent of the former chief.
Yeah. Yes. So the one wearing the kente like this thing is the secretary. And the one wearing the smoke is Mr. Eric. And he was the regent of the past Sakutinala, the one that this current Sakutinala succeeded from. And let me give another interesting thing about the Sakuti traditional area. On enskinment, yes. On enskinment, they also foot. They foot from that is still at the past. Yes.
Yes.
So they also foot from Sakuti to Naleru for enskinment. They don't use car.
Wow. Just like was it the Nangudi people? Bongo, yes.
Yes. So when they are selling the Panyoku, of Edisi Sakuti Naba back to the Nairi, they foot. There's a route there from Sakuti linking to Nairobi. So they are not coming back to Golga like the road is. So they have to pass through the rocks and descend to Nairobi. So you know, over there they always say we are climbing because Nairobi is climbing. So they will climb to Nairobi for the enskinment. And interesting things happened during the enskinment of this our father. Today also happens to be the first. Today marks the beginning of the year according to Mamprugu calendar. because today happens to be the first day of the month of the fire festival month, the Bugum month. And coincidentally, this our father was enskined in this month. He was enskined in the Bugum month. So when they sent it, when we went there and greeted and we were having a chat, it's like when they sent the Panyoku there, they got there and it was days to the Bugum. So they said they should wait for the Nayir to celebrate the fire festival before the enskinning. So they have to sleep in their little room till the fire festival was celebrated. And after the fire festival was celebrated, that time it was a farming season, but there was drought. There wasn't rain for them to commence the farming season. So it kind of delayed. So after the fire festival, when he was enskinned, then in the night, a heavy rain came.
A blessing, of course.
Yeah, so the following day he went and the Nairi gave him the okay, that you bought cigarette, so you are now cigarette. It means your rain is as when we say cigarette in Mampoli, it means ushering into the farming season. The beginning of the farming season is what we call cigarette.
Okay, the beginning of the farming season is cigarette, and Sa is rain.
Rain, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was given the name Na Cigarette. And they added a cigarette. Yeah. Okay. And this man is a very resourceful man. He was a former president of the Upper East Regional House of Chiefs. I think he left office not quite long ago. He also served as chairman of the Judicial Committee of the National House of Chiefs. Chairman of the Judicial Committee of the National House of Chiefs. He served in that capacity for a very long time. So, in fact, he is a library, if I may put it, a well-resourced person. And so he has a lot of experience.
So if I want consultation, I should reach out to him.
Sure, yeah.
On a lighter note, anyway.
He's also mining. He's a mining engineer by profession.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a mining engineer. So and he studied up to the UK. He did his master's at UK and all. If we talk about his biography, he has gone through
Mamprugo, we have the man. So let's go to Nangodi traditional area.
Yes. So and just a quick one on that. So they have a festival, the Sakuti traditional area. They have a festival called Tenlebgeri Festival. Tenlebgeri. So in Mamprugo we say Tenlebgeri or town development. That is a festival they celebrate. It comes on at the end part of every November. That's the time they celebrate it. So the Sakuti people, that is what we can say about it. So I said they are brothers, Sakuti and Nangodi. So now let's go to Nangodi. The Nangonaba, the reigning Nangonaba is now Asaga Yelzuya. Kosom, now Kosom Asaga Yelzuya. So he is the paramount chief of the Nangodi traditional area. Yeah, and in this picture is myself and our father, Mba Nangonaba, a very caring and lovely father. In fact, he was enskinned in 2011. So he is 11 years on the skins. He was enskinned in 2011 by the Nairi, the reigning Nairi Nabuhabu Abdullahi Mami Shirga, the 33rd Nairi.
And he's a brother to Moses Asaga, Honorable Moses Asaga.
Yes, I was coming. He's a brother to Honorable Moses Asaga, former MP for Nabdam. Or is he still the MP there?
I'm not too sure.
I think he's the former MP of the Nabdam constituency, Honorable Moses Asaga. And let me give you interesting thing about Honorable Moses Asaga. In 2016, there was very good. That's our father, Mba Nangona Yelzoya Asaga. Mampule Asaga here, that is Sa. So Mampule, that is Nasa, but they would say Asaga. So Honorable Asaga was passing through the Tamale Bolga main route, 2016 general election, and there was a campaign. a political rally at my village, Gimsi. You know, Gimsi is just on the main road. So he got there and forget it was his party that was having that a rally. So he decided to stop. He stopped, got down, and got to the rally ground. And he was given the opportunity to, he even requested to speak. And guess what he said? He said that we are Mampusis. He spoke Mampuri. He didn't speak any language. He spoke Mampuri.
He didn't speak Napit.
He didn't speak Nabit. He spoke Mampuri. And he told them that we are Mampusis. Our forefather was a son of Nayiri, and he moved from Nalengu to go and settle around that area. And that is why we are in the Upper East region. So we are Mampusi and we are brothers. He spoke a lot, but that is the political line. So I wouldn't like.
Yes, yes.
So that is it. So these people don't see themselves as any other people. In fact, when I went to Nangoli, I and the Nangonaba, we spoke Mampuli, not English. He speaks Mampuli fluently.
This very our father.
Yes.
Okay.
He speaks Mampuli, and we spoke Mampuli. And in fact, when I got home, he was the first person to call to ask, have you arrived home safely?
Prof, hold on. You just make it, I don't know. You're making my day so joyous.
Yes.
Now let's just remind ourselves. The Nayuri in skins a lot of chiefs in the Upper East region. Yes. But we are looking at 5 major traditional areas on the screen: Bongo, Talansi, Nabdam. Today we're discussing Nabdam. We have Bolgatanga and Boku.
Yes. We have there's Guaruni. Then you have to. It's also a paramount.
Yes. So I'll update the list. Now the point I just want to make is that the Mamprusis as a tribe, the Mamprusi people, and the people of Bongo, the people of Talansi, that's the Talansis, the Nabdams, the people of Bolgatanga, and the people of Boku. When I keep on saying the people of these traditional areas, I mean the Mamprusis. All of them are Mamprusis. Bolgatanga, Nabdam, Talansi, Bongo, they don't bear, sorry to use this word, the ethnic identity as Mamprusis, but they are descendants of Mamprusis. So they are all Mamprusis. So the relationship is there. We are all one. We are together. We should be each other's keepers. We should understand that what is affecting one of us affects all of us. The progress of one of us is the progress of all of us. No, it's just like a family. Your father and mother and, let me say, 3 of your siblings. If you are progressing and then the others are not progressing, your progress affects them positively. Their retrogression affects you negatively. So you need to help them also appreciate to a certain level that it will reduce the negative impact of their retrogression on you. So that is the point I'm just trying to make here. You, Professor, you've already told us the essence of this program, the essence of this history that we're giving. I will not take those words from you. The ball is yours, Prof. Just go on.
Yeah. So the Nabdam, the Mbanangonaba. In fact, when I got home, he called, asked if I arrived safely. We had a lengthy chat on phone, and I had his contact. Anytime I call him, he picks. And he also calls me. Just after this Sandler festival, the Eid al-Adha, I called to greet him Happy New Year. He picked. We had a very interesting father and son conversation. So that is the relationship we have. In fact,
All right.
these people are very happy.
Sorry, let me interrupt. This is a special request. Crystal Mbabul, he said, can you deal deeply into the history of the Nangodi paramount chiefs, the first chief to date? Please, Prof.
Okay, so this is an assignment, and if maybe some other time,
Okay,
I'll
not
look for it.
today. Not today.
Yeah, no, yeah, not today. I probably
Okay.
cannot give.
All right. Brother Chris, still, thank you so much for the questions, but we will plead with you to find another time to deal specifically with this, your request. Keep following this program. Just like and follow Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. Yes, Professor, go on.
Yes, I almost forgot something interesting. But before that, the festival of the people of Nangodi, they celebrate the festival that was marked to brought that
To
brought civilization to fighting. So
unify.
that one, the fire they quenched and celebrated.
Yes.
So they always celebrate that, and that season they said happens to be beginning of the rainy season. That was the season the prince got there, and that was the season that reconciliation was made. So every beginning of every rainy season, and they have made it May. And they made it every in the month of May. That is when they will gather and celebrate that festival, just to mark that, to commemorate that day. So that is what is the festival they also celebrate. Now, let's come and look at briefly Kwame Nkrumah's interference in the chieftaincy institution of Mampugu. Remember, Kwame Nkrumah made a deliberate attempt to cause division or partitioning of the Mampugu kingdom. And that is what brought about our current situation in Boku. And when that issue happened, the Nangodi and Sakuti people were also affected. But the agenda of Kwame Nkrumah was to weaken the strength of the Mampugu kingdom and to weaken the influence of the Nayiri in the Upper East region area. So,
and if I may just add, for historic purpose and for the records, that was during the time of the father of the current Nayiri, Nashirga the First.
Thank you very much. Yes. So that was the era of the current Nayiri, Nashirga Abdullahi. And so when Kwame Nkrumah was diskinning or destooling the over 500 chiefs, unfortunately, the chief of Nangodi
Prof,
yes.
Let me also add this for the benefit of our viewers. So we've said that was the era of the father of the current Nayiri, that is Nashirga the First. And during Nashirga's time, the father of the current vice president of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Mumuni Bawumia, he was the secretary to Nashirga at the time.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So the chief of Sakuti was also diskinned. The chief of Nangodi was diskinned as well. So when they were diskinning, just like he exiled the Bokunaba, na Salama Yirimere. The chief of Nangodi was also diskinned by Nkrumah, and the chief of Sakuti was also diskinned by Nkrumah. And what was their crime? Their crime was because they supported their father, the Nayiri.
Wow.
That was why they were also diskinned. And even if you go to look at the witnesses of the Nayiri, when I don't know whether there was a Boko Afari committee on the Boku issue.
Yes.
The then Nangonaba stood as witness to the Nayiri.
Okay.
That tells his level of loyalty to his father, the Nayiri, and their passion of being part and parcel of Mampugu. He stood for Nayiri and stood as a witness. And when Nkrumah was diskinning, because of that act, they were also diskinned. And he made it look like those that were enskined by the Nayiri were imposed on the people as if they were outsiders. And kind of they went independent. That was how he painted the picture.
Yeah, I know. It's also because they lack the history to understand that the people of Sakoti and Nangodi are descendants of Mamprosis, even though they don't bear the identity Mamprosi, but they are descendants of Mamprosis.
We can't just say he was oblivious of that fact. In certain instances, he knew just that he was playing he was doing something that would benefit his political career.
Yes.
Some of the things we can say he knew of them. Yeah, so interestingly, the chief of Sakuti was skinned by Nkrumah, and he made his favorite to stand for an election so that the people should elect their chief. So the one that was skinned by the Nayiri was removed, and they said they should elect and do election. So the skinned chief also contested that election enskinment.
And who won?
I'm one of them. So okay, I also stand for that election, and he stood and won.
glory be to God. And you know, yeah,
you know, they removed the Nigerian and skin chief, saying he's imposed on the people. They stood for election, and the people elected that same person as their chief. So in that case, he was left with no other option than to leave him as the chief of Sakuti. Unfortunately, the Nangoli one lost to a brother. And when Nkrumah was overthrown in 1966, and the NLCD Decree 112 was passed, and Chieftaincy Restoration Act restored their status to them, these loyal sons of the Nayiri, the Nangonaba and the Sakutunaba, went back to Nayiri again for enskinment.
Wow.
So this group was enskinned 3 times. The Sakutuna was enskinned 3 times. He was enskinned by the Nayiri. Nkrumah removed him. He stood for election and won. Enskinned again. So when Nkrumah was overthrown, he went back to his father again and said that, well, because of what happened, his father should re-enskin him again. And he was re-enskinned.
Wow, that is good. That is the tradition. I mean, we must not look at things from our comfort zone and ignore tradition. You see, just because you have the opportunity, a politician is what and what and what, and you call yourself chief, you have to follow the right path to be a chief.
Yeah, and a quick one. In last year, 2021. Group of Mampugu through Mampu Kayan Ada and another group called Mampu Lebahang visited this traditional area. And when the team got to Nangodi, in fact, the Nangonaba, he is fortunate, his mother is still alive. The old lady said that we are Dagbama. That we are Dagbama. It's our father. Yes, it's our father that sent us here. We only came here to protect this particular part of the kingdom. So we are residing here on the permission of our father, the Nairi. So we are Dagbama. But she only lamented that it's just unfortunate that over the years, it's now as though we have been detached from home. And it's like our brothers' home don't ask of us again. And that gives us a source of worry. But we are very happy for your coming today. You have revived our hope, and you have given us hope that really our brothers up there still remember of us.
Yes.
That our coming then have uplifted their spirits, and they are the Bama. And then I'm going to say that they are Najewa than any other person. When they come to Najewa, they are proud Najewa than any other person. And his sister is named after the mother of Najewa, and they call him Jewama.
Yes, that is good indeed, and she's right that we seems to be ignoring each other. We seems to be considering each other as independence of the other. Yes, independence in the sense that we are traditional areas, respective traditional areas, but we are interdependent, not independent. Yes, my traditional, as a chief in my traditional area, I don't interfere or should not interfere in the affairs of your traditional area. But my traditional area depends on your traditional area, and your traditional area also depends on my traditional area, because we are all enskinned by the Nayiri. We are all part of Mampugu. Prof, we've done 11 minutes after our usual 1 hour. I know there is more you could have shared with us, But as we all understand, we cannot, even if we give ourselves 3 hours, we cannot exhaust everything. The little that we can share to bring about the consciousness, to bring about the unity, to bring about the pride, and to preserve the history. That's what we are about to do here. So this is in line with our vision to promote Mamprugu Kingdom across the world and unity with purpose, not just unity, unity with purpose among Mamprusis and the paramountcies and the Mamprugu Kingdom. So as Prof told us, when you look at the Boku case in the 1957, during the committee investigation into the disturbances, the usurpation of the authority of the Najiri, the Nangoti Nab came and testified. So it tells you the bond between the Nangoti traditional area or the Nabdam traditional area collectively and then the Boku traditional area. That is what we're talking about, each other's keepers. The Nangoti chief was there to say, yes, I am part of you, and we are all children of the Najiri, and I will come to testify to let the community know the truth. And that is what we want. Prof, 2 minutes for your closing remarks, then we'll bring this program to an end.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, in all what we've said, as I've always said, what do we stand to achieve? The collective aim is for us to know each other, to know that we are all one people, to know that we all have a common destiny. And if we know our history and know how we are interconnected, then we'll get to realize that we are one people and there is no need fighting among ourselves. Knowing our history, through history for that matter, will stop the unnecessary conflicts or will even prevent future conflicts among us. So if you were seeing someone from Nangodi area or from Sakoti area as a Nabdam, get to know that the name Nabdam is not an insult. It is Namdam or Nam, royal people. That is what it means. So that tells you that they are royal, and they are even proud royal than maybe how you think you are. Like the Nangona said, his sister is called Bawama, mother of Nadewa. So you the one sitting at Yendi, you the one at Sabulu, you the one at Miam, you the one at Karaga, you the one at Kumbunu, who is proud to be associated with Nadewa. Know that someone as far as Nangodi is even more proud of Nadewa than you think you are. So it tells you that we are all one people. We are all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we seem to have a technical issue from our professor. I believe he will get back live soon to conclude with his closing remark. But the point professor was making is that all descendants of Nagbewa, Moshis, Mamprusis, Nanun, Dagombes, that's Dagon, Wales, all of us, let's stop this internal competition and rather see ourselves as one people with one common destiny. There's history telling us that when Dagbon was in crisis some time ago, it was the Najiri Den, Na Atabia, who amicably settled what would have been a dispute in Dagbon. So that is the brotherhood. Prof, go ahead.
Yes. So as I was saying, so Nangoli people, they see themselves as proud descendants of Nadewa. And the Nangona told us that they even value Nadewa, and they know the value of Nadewa than even us. So we shouldn't think Nadewa or the Gewazulia is only about us. So that is the bond. The Sakuti people, the Sakuti and Nangoli are brothers. They are collectively called the Nabdam. The Talensi people, we were able to establish the other day, they are descendants of Nadewa, Na Atabia. You go to Bongo, na Atabia, Isa, come to Talensi, Mosuri, come to Nabdam, Nuru, all sons of Na Atabia. So this goes to tell us we are one people and let's come together. There is strength in unity. Let's not, despise each other, thinking that, oh, these people are Talensi, these people are Nabdam, these people are Farfra. The name Farfra is a nickname. We'll come to look at this some other time. So I
Yes.
want to say that we have shown the way, we have started in our own small way, and we are visiting all these areas, trying as much as we can to integrate ourselves so that to get collectively we can make Nigeria proud of us. So let us not sit on the fence and watch. Let's all get involved. So that is what I would have to say about this thing today.
Thank you so much, Prof. Let me also just say that yes, our professor has told us that there is unity in strength. And this is what I want to add. History is sweet. History is a weapon, and you can use it to defeat your enemy. You can use it to unite among yourselves. And that is what we are seeking to do. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I am your host, Dobia Mbawuni Bakutuma na Atabia II, Mamprugu Youth President. This program, I must say, is a collaboration between Voice of Mamprugu and Mamprugu Kaya Nititada. Am I right?
Yes, Kayana.
Kaya Nitada, right?
You are right. You have it
Yes,
right.
all right. So uh, I made an announcement to my audience that we will not have professor every day. We've agreed that myself and Prof that we can only have him 2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But as and when necessary, if we need him on any program, we will reach out to him. But henceforth, we can only get our professor on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This coming Monday, I will be hosting one of our brothers, Fatau, and he will take us again through the Mampruli proverbs and dialect. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much and good night. Hello, bye-bye, Prof.
Bye bye.
All right, peace.
Yeah.